as of the day I'm recording this, TikTok will be banned in 10 days. Now, no matter if you fucking hate the app,
they motherfucking made the all D's double the size trying to
you use it 24/7. It's hard to admit that TikTok that hasn't had like a huge impact on everything in the past 5 or 6 years. So today I'm going to talk about what this really means. Now, short form content isn't going away, okay? We have Instagram Reels,
Sunshine, lollipop,
YouTube Shorts, ew, but you use it. And Snapchat, Spotlights, some fucking weirdos use that. But regardless, short form content or TikTok-like content isn't going away. And even if, like, someone can buy TikTok, like, the deal isn't that TikTok is banned forever. So TikTok itself isn't gonna go away. But again, with new management, it's gonna be very different. And I'm gonna talk about that today. And really just the impact that TikTok has had on me and our whole generation as a whole in the past few years. So I didn't use TikTok in 2019. Like, I heard some of the trends just from friends and, like, you know, passing around, just being... TikTok got big when I first got into middle school, and it was just really weird because I didn't have TikTok till my freshman year of high school. I just didn't feel like downloading it. I just never really felt like downloading it. I was still very big into YouTube, and to this day I still use YouTube and probably Instagram more than TikTok. But I'm not gonna lie if I say TikTok doesn't have like a lot of really good qualities of a social media site. For one thing, it's really easy to grow on TikTok. I'll put on a clip on screen for a second. These are my last few TikToks that I've uploaded, and then compare that to my YouTube videos, which I'll put on screen right now. The difference is insane. It's so easy to grow on TikTok because of the short form like mode. It makes it a lot easier to look at a lot of different content that you're interested in at once, which makes it so memes and trends spread really fast, okay? So something that you'll see shit before it goes mainstream, well knowing that it's gonna be mainstream. Like a random fucking example, right? I used to post like these shit post slideshows where I just post like random memes from my camera roll, right? And I ended up using an audio that like I just thought was funny. That shit's all over TikTok now. Like stuff like that, like you'll think you're like looking at something niche, but actually it is niche for a bit, but then it just becomes mainstream. Like TikTok, really, it's so easy for shit to become mainstream from the app. Like slang, fashion, everything that you know of Gen Z came from TikTok. Okay, how people dress. You know, you see the movement of like baggy jeans and like boots and like the whole like that's TikTok. That's TikTok. Sure, other rappers may have, you know, made this shit popular, but and different like influencers, but TikTok was the main thing. Music was changed by TikTok for good and bad. It's very easy for a song to get big on TikTok, but also that's not necessarily a good thing for the artist. Take Steve Lacy, for example. I love Steve Lacy, right? I love his music, but a lot of people will, to this day, just know him as the I wish I knew you wanted me guy, because that audio was all over TikTok a few years back, and people will literally just see that. So music has never been the same since TikTok first came out. And not to say short form content that altered generations didn't exist. Like, we can't forget about Vine, okay? Vine was a huge deal and arguably more iconic than TikTok. And when Vine shut down, a very similar discussion was brought up. Okay, people were like, where are we gonna move to? What's the big idea? How? And they were looking back at Vine in 2017 when it got shut down, and they were like, wow, Vine has really been our culture for the past few years. And you're gonna see a very similar thing happen over the next few weeks as TikTok gets closer and closer to the inevitable shutdown. So I just wanna talk about how big of a thing this is. Like, this isn't like some small deal, okay? TikTok has literally been like the Gen Z thing, okay? Like, Gen Z, if you don't know, I believe it's ages 14 to 25. So if you're in that age range, you grew up with TikTok, or at least had a friend who grew up with TikTok if you didn't ever use the app. So if you're in my generation, this shit has been there for the past 5 or 6 years as you've been growing up. So seeing this big, crazy juggernaut go away, like, it's very similar to the downfall of MTV. Now, obviously, MTV is still there, but MTV defined an era. There were, like, so many cultural phenomenons that started on MTV, and then nobody really cared by the time, like, the 2000s and the 2010s rolled around because of the internet. But MTV was really huge. Now nobody talks about it, right? So there's so many different... I think the closest comparison is obviously Vine. But if you grew up with Vine, people, obviously nostalgia, people obviously tend to look more fondly on Vine than TikTok. But you'll see if TikTok doesn't get bought out by another company and very easily replaced, you're gonna see a lot of nostalgia compilations. Just creators flushing over to other platforms. Same way, you know, creators like Logan Paul and Jake Paul flushed over to YouTube as soon as Vine shut down. Okay, the internet is gonna look very different with TikTok refugees going to Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and fucking Snapchat Spotlights, right? You're gonna see just like a very different internet over the next few years, and I think that's very interesting, right? Whether you like TikTok or not, like, it's part of our culture. So yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed this. I have another TikTok-esque themed video, so stay tuned to that. Make sure to subscribe. Follow my Twitter and Blue Sky. Yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.